If you live alone, there are certain sounds you learn to ignore. The creaking of old pipes, the settling of the building at night, the occasional unexplained thump from somewhere above. At least, that's what she kept telling herself. She was in her mid-20s and lived alone in a small apartment on the top floor of an older building. Her bedroom ceiling had a row of recessed spotlights installed across it, except for one. One spotlight had never been installed. Instead, there was only a dark circular opening in the ceiling. Above it was a small crawl space between the ceiling and the roof. The landlord had mentioned it. When she moved in, it's harmless. We never got around to installing the last light. She never thought much about it. For months, everything was normal. Then the noises started. Late at night, usually sometime after 2 a.m., she would hear faint sounds coming from above her bedroom ceiling. Tick, tick, scratch. A slow dragging noise, like something moving through the crawl space. At first, she assumed it was a rat. The building was old enough for that to make sense, but the sounds continued. Night after night, sometimes they seemed to stop directly above her bed, as if whatever was up there had paused, listening, waiting. One evening, while scrolling through her phone, she thought she noticed movement inside the dark spotlight opening, a shadow, just for a split second. When she looked directly at it, nothing was there. She laughed it off. Maybe she was tired. Maybe her eyes were playing tricks on her. The next few weeks became stranger. Small things around the apartment seemed different. A chair slightly moved, a cabinet left partially open, objects she was sure she'd placed somewhere appearing somewhere else. Every time she found a reasonable explanation, until the night everything changed. It was nearly 2 a.m. The apartment was completely dark, except for the glow of her phone screen. She was lying in bed, unable to sleep. Without thinking, she glanced toward the ceiling and froze. There was someone looking down at her, a face partially hidden in darkness. Only the eyes were visible, staring directly at her through the empty spotlight opening, not blinking, not moving, just watching. For a moment, neither of them moved. Her entire body locked up. Her heart pounded so hard she could hear it. Then the eyes widened, as if the person hadn't expected her to notice. They locked eyes. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3. Then suddenly, bang! A loud movement erupted above the ceiling. Rapid scrambling noises exploded through the crawl space. Thump, 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 thump. Something was running away. Fast, very fast. She screamed, grabbed her phone, and ran out of the apartment. She spent the rest of the night at a friend's place. The next morning, she contacted the police. Officers arrived along with the building manager. They removed part of the ceiling and climbed into the crawl space. What they found made her sick. There were blankets, empty water bottles, food wrappers. Someone had clearly been living up there. Directly above her apartment, directly above her bedroom, for who knew how long. But there was no person. Whoever had been there was gone. Then one of the officers found something else, a worn notebook hidden beneath a blanket. Its pages were filled with dates and notes, short observations. Stayed home all day. Talked on the phone for 43 minutes. Cried before sleeping. Ordered food tonight. Page after page, week after week, month after month. Someone had been documenting her life, watching her every day. The final page contained only one sentence, written in shaky handwriting. Tonight she finally looked back. She moved out that same day, never returned. The person living above her was never identified, and years later she still says she has one habit she cannot break. Every night before going to sleep, she looks at the ceiling just to make sure no one is looking back